Did you know that 1 in 4 people over the age of 70 will suffer from nerve disease in their feet and legs? Tingling, burning, loss of sensation, the feeling of stepping on broken glass with every step? Is this what your life is like? If so, I want you to know that you are not alone. I went through that exact condition in my 70s and 80s, and here is what doctors advised me to do. Take the supplements they prescribed, but none of those methods worked. However, I discovered 6 simple exercises that helped me escape this condition. No gym, no equipment needed, just a chair and 15 minutes a day. I want to share all 6 of them with you, and please stay until the end because I will reveal the real secret that doctors always ask me about, the true reason I am still alive at 102 years old. My name is Linda Walsh, and I am 102 years old. I want you to leave your name and your age in the comments below, because I genuinely want to make friends here and talk about what it means to live well and live long. Every single comment means something to me. Please do not be shy. Now, let us talk about these 6 exercises. I want to walk you through each one carefully because I believe that when you understand not just what to do, but why you are doing it, you actually follow through. And following through is everything with this. Exercise 1, the seated march. This is where we begin, and it is the most important one of all. I want you to find a sturdy chair, not a soft couch and not a rocking chair, but something with a firm, flat seat. Sit up straight. Resist the urge to lean back. Now, begin lifting your knees one at a time as if you are marching in place right there in your chair. Left knee up, right knee up. Slow and deliberate. As you settle in, add your arms. Swing the opposite arm forward with each knee lift, the way you naturally do when you walk. I know how simple this looks. I thought the same thing when I first tried it. But here is what this exercise is actually doing. It is moving blood. And for neuropathy, for damaged nerves anywhere in the feet and legs, blood flow is not just helpful, it is essential. Your peripheral nerves, the ones that run from your spinal cord all the way down through your legs and into your toes, need oxygen to survive and to heal. When those nerves are damaged, they are already getting less than they need. The seated march changes that. Your heart works a little harder, your breathing picks up, and fresh oxygenated blood starts moving down into exactly the places that need it most. When I first started, 3 minutes was all I could manage before I felt tired. That is completely fine. Start with 3 minutes. Add 1 minute every few days. Work your way up to 10 or 15 minutes per session. If you can do it twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, you will feel the difference within 2 weeks. And because you are seated the entire time, your risk of falling is 0. No fear of tripping, no need to grip anything for balance, just you and your chair and your own legs doing what legs were designed to do. Exercise 2, the single leg stand. This exercise exists because of something called proprioception, your body's ability to sense where it is in space, to know without looking whether your foot is on flat ground or tilted, to detect in a fraction of a second that you are starting to lose your balance so that your body can correct before you fall. Neuropathy damages the system. The nerves in your feet send scrambled, incomplete signals to your brain instead of clear ones, and the result of that for people over 60 is falls. I have watched friends of mine go down from a fall and never fully recover. Broken hips, hospital stays, months of lost mobility, confidence that never came back. I am deeply aware at my age that I am not immune, and this exercise is a large part of why I have not fallen. Stand behind your chair and rest both hands on the back of it. Shift your weight slowly onto your right foot and lift your left foot just an inch or 2 off the floor. Hold. The goal is 30 seconds on each leg, but if you can only manage 5 or 10 seconds right now, begin there. 3 rounds on each side. As 30 seconds becomes comfortable, try taking one hand off the chair, then both hands, and when you are ready, close your eyes. I understand how frightening that sounds, but closing your eyes removes your visual safety net and forces your body to rely entirely on those damaged nerve pathways in your feet. You are making them work. You are demanding that they do their job under real conditions. It is like rehabilitating a weak muscle by asking it to lift something. Uncomfortable at first, but it gets stronger. I noticed a genuine difference within 2 weeks of doing this exercise every single morning. Exercise 3. Heel to toe rocks. Stand at your chair with your feet about shoulder width apart, one hand resting lightly on the back for support. Slowly shift your weight back onto your heels until your toes just barely lift off the floor. Hold for 1 second. Then roll smoothly forward all the way up onto your toes, lifting your heels. Hold for 1 second, then back again. 15 repetitions, 2 sets, slow the whole way through. This is not about speed or endurance. It is about every single movement being completely deliberate and controlled. What is happening while you do this? 3 things simultaneously. Your calf muscles are contracting and relaxing, which pumps blood through the veins in your lower legs and draws fresh blood down into your feet. More oxygen for your nerves. Every single roll from heel to toe fires nerve receptors along the entire sole of your foot, sending signals up through your legs and spinal cord and into your brain saying, "I am here. I can feel the floor. I am still part of this body." And with every session, those signals get a little clearer. And third, you are building the ankle stability and lower leg strength that directly prevents falls. I think of this exercise as teaching my feet to speak again, clearly, after years of neuropathy turning their voice into static. Exercise 4. Calf raises at the chair. Stand at your chair, both hands resting on the back. Slowly rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can. Hold at the top for a count of 2. Then lower your heels slowly and gently back to the floor. Do not drop them. Lower them with intention for a count of 2. 12 repetitions, 2 sets with about 30 seconds of rest between sets. This exercise builds on the rocking motion but adds something important: sustained load. Instead of rolling through movement, you are holding your full body weight up on your toes for 2 full seconds. That extended hold does 2 things that the rocks do not. It builds real muscular strength in your calves, and strong calves matter enormously for walking stability, especially past 70. And it sustains a proprioceptive signal up through your nervous system instead of just sending a quick pulse. Think of it as holding a phone call instead of sending a text. I also want to say something about patience here because calf raises taught me this lesson. Do not rush to make an exercise harder. When 12 repetitions finally feel easy, truly easy, not almost easy, that is when you graduate to a single leg calf raise, not before. Your body will tell you when it is ready. Learning to listen to that is itself part of getting better. Exercise 5. Towel scrunches. Sit down in your chair, take a thin kitchen towel and lay it flat on the floor in front of you. Place your bare foot on the near edge of it. Now, using only your toes, scrunch the towel toward you. Spread your toes wide, grab the fabric, squeeze, pull, spread again, grab, squeeze, pull. 10 times on each foot, 2 sets. The first time I tried this, my toes barely responded. They felt completely asleep. I was sending the signal, and almost nothing was answering. And that is the entire point of this exercise. That frustrating, uncooperative feeling is the gap that neuropathy has created between your brain and those small muscles in your feet. Every time you attempt to scrunch that towel, even when your toes hardly move, you are firing signals down damaged pathways and asking them to respond. You are lighting up a road that has gone dark. Session by session, something begins to shift. The connection gets cleaner. The toes start responding more readily. And the day you realize you can pick up a marble off the floor with your toes, that is a day worth celebrating. The advanced version of this exercise is exactly that. Small objects, marbles or pencils or coins, moved from one small pile to another using only your toes. Fine motor control for your feet. It sounds minor. For a person who has lived with neuropathy, it is anything but. Exercise 6. Ankle circles and the alphabet. Sit comfortably and lift one foot slightly off the floor. Rotate your ankle in a slow, wide circle 10 times in one direction, then 10 times the other way. Really use the full range of motion. Feel every degree of that rotation. Then, and this is the part I genuinely look forward to every morning, use the tip of your big toe to write the alphabet in the air. A, B, C, slowly and deliberately all the way to Z. Draw each letter large. Every different shape requires your ankle and lower leg muscles to work from a different angle, which means you are stimulating nerve muscle pathways across dozens of different directions in a single short exercise. I've done this for years. Some mornings my ankle moves freely through every letter and I feel well. Other mornings I feel stiffness around the letter G or the letter M, and I know it is a day to move gently. That kind of body awareness, the ability to read your own condition and respond accordingly, that is something neuropathy tries to take from you. These exercises give it back. To put the full routine together, begin with a seated march for 5 to 10 minutes, your cardio foundation, your blood flow, your warm-up. Then move to the single leg stand and heel-to-toe rocks, which together take about 4 minutes and address your balance and proprioception. Then close with calf raises, towel scrunches, and ankle circles with the alphabet. Another 4 to 5 minutes for your feet. Total, 15 minutes. You can do this every morning before breakfast. You can do it while the coffee brews. 3 rules that will make or break this for you. First, start at half. If I say 12 repetitions, you do 6. If I say 30 seconds, you start with 10. Nerves do not respond well to being pushed hard. They respond to being approached gradually and consistently with patience. Second, every single day. 15 minutes daily will do more for you than an hour once a week. Nerve healing is slow and steady, and it requires steady effort to keep moving in the right direction. Third, always check your feet after your session. Look for redness, blisters, any small cuts or sore spots. When feeling in your feet is impaired, damage can happen without pain warning you. 1 minute of looking protects everything you have worked for. Now, I promised you a secret, and I keep my promises. When people find out how old I am, they reach for their phones before I have finished my sentence. They want to write down what I eat, what I take, what time I wake up. They are already searching for the thing they can buy or order or schedule, and I understand that completely. I spent the better part of 70 years doing exactly the same thing. But the honest answer, the real answer, is free. It costs absolutely nothing, and it is something most people are genuinely not ready to hear. The secret is the soul. I know how that sounds, but stay with me because I am not speaking about religion, and I am not speaking about anything mystical. I am speaking about something that science has been demonstrating for decades, and that most of us still do not fully believe in our bones. Research has shown in study after study that illness is approximately 70% mental and 30% physical. 70%. The quality of your inner life, the emotional weight you carry, the thoughts you return to again and again, the feelings that have been living in your body for years, that is not separate from your physical health. It is your physical health. The body does not lie. It expresses everything we refuse to address directly. I lived the first 60 or 70 years of my life completely unaware of this, and I wasted a great deal of those years. I lived in conflict, not the kind that anybody could see. I was never a dramatic person. I never caused scenes, but inside my own mind, constantly, quietly, exhaustingly, I was at war. With colleagues who I felt did not give me the recognition I deserved. With relatives who I felt took my help for granted. With my husband, God rest his soul, over small things I cannot even fully remember now, though I treated them at the time as though they were enormously important. With my children, whom I loved beyond anything I can describe, but whom I also managed to resent in quiet ways for not becoming exactly who I had pictured when I imagined them as babies. I never crossed certain lines. I kept things civil. I kept things proper. But my mind never stopped crossing them. I lived in a constant low-grade state of dissatisfaction with my circumstances, with the people around me, with the gap between how I believed life should have gone and how it had actually gone. I kept waiting for things to arrange themselves in a way I could finally accept, and they never did because that is simply not how it works. All of that dissatisfaction, all of those years of quiet grievance and unspoken disappointment and emotional tension that I never fully released, it settled into my body. Not all at once, not dramatically, but the way water finds its way through stone. Slowly, persistently, and it turned into illness, into inflammation, into the neuropathy that spent years burning in my feet and waking me up in the night. My unhealthy diet contributed to it, yes, but if I am honest, completely honest, the way I wish someone had been with me when I was 40, the deeper root was inside me, not on my plate. It was only much later, after I had lost enough people and wasted enough time, that I began to truly rest inside myself. Not just sleep, but rest. I stopped needing people to be different. I stopped expecting circumstances to arrange themselves around my preferences. I stopped carrying the weight of 30-year-old grievances as though they were still worth something. And when I let go, not as a spiritual exercise, not as a performance, but as a genuinely exhausted woman who simply could not carry it all anymore, something in my body responded, slowly but unmistakably. I am not sharing this to make you feel guilty. I am sharing it because I wasted decades not knowing it, and I refuse to keep that to myself. Your neuropathy is real. Your pain is real. The exercises I shared with you today will genuinely help your body. But if you want to live long and live well, truly well, you must also tend to what is happening inside you. The resentments you have been holding on to for years and calling justified. The relationships you have quietly given up on. The story you keep telling yourself about how your life was supposed to go and didn't. Those things live in your body. They cost you more than any doctor's bill. Begin releasing them. Not all at once. That is not how it works either. But begin. Start with one. One old wound you have been keeping alive longer than it deserves. That is where healing starts. And nothing else I could tell you would matter more. That is the secret. It is free, it has always been free, and it took me 100 years to fully believe it. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If these exercises help you, even a little, even just one of them, please come back and tell me about it in the comments. And please leave your name and your age. I want to know who you are. I mean that sincerely. You are not alone in this, and neither am I. A good heart is better than all the heads in the world. Edward Bulwer Lytton. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Jack Cornfield. Compassion is the ultimate and most meaningful embodiment of emotional maturity. Arthur Jersild. Compassion allows us to bear witness to that suffering without fear. It allows us to name injustice without hesitation and to act strongly. Sharon Salzberg. There is a nobility in compassion, a beauty in empathy, a grace in forgiveness. John Connolly. Compassion will cure more sins than condemnation. Henry Ward Beecher. Compassion is a two-way street. Frank Capra. By compassion, we make others' misery our own, and so by relieving them, we relieve ourselves also. Thomas Brown. God's dream is that you and I and all of us will realize that we are family, that we are made for togetherness, for goodness, and for compassion. Desmond Tutu. I would rather make mistakes in kindness and compassion than work miracles in unkindness and hardness. Mother Teresa. Compassion asks us to go where it hurts, to enter into the places of pain, to share in brokenness, fear, confusion, and anguish. Henry Nouwen. Have compassion for all beings, rich and poor alike. Each has their suffering. Buddha. True compassion is more than throwing a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. Martin Luther King Jr.